Ayurveda, yoga, and naturopathy. And
Hmm.
that's where we work on giving personalized solutions. So we are being live streamed. So
Yeah.
probably I
No,
will
no,
take my
no problem. No problem. Yeah.
Namaste, everyone. A very warm
That,
evening to everyone out there who have logged into Vivekananda Health Global's YouTube. So we are very thrilled and privileged to have Dr. Kader today. He is a person whom people would like to meet and learn a lot from. Before introducing Dr. Kader and welcoming him, a short glimpse about Vivekananda Health Global. It is a first international chain of integrative medicine centers across India and abroad, promoting the integration of Indian systems of medicine, Ayurveda, yoga, and naturopathy. Vivekananda Health Global caters to preventive healthcare, disease management, and rehabilitation. And the various clinics it caters to pain clinic, stress clinic, obesity, women health, rehabilitation, and a lot more. VHG also offers courses in Ayurveda and on yoga. We also provide online consultations, detox programs, yoga therapy for different health problems, and also I've evolved a lot of do-it-yourself programs and kits for pain management especially. The centers are presently located at Bangalore, Trivandrum, Guwahati, Ahmedabad, New York, and Seoul. With this short information on Vivekananda Health Global, it is my privilege to welcome Dr. Kader today on this event and a very special program which is titled Sattvik Balance, Harmonizing Mind, Body, and Spirit with Yogic Nutrition. A warm welcome to you, sir, and really privileged
namaste.
to have you today.
Namaste. Namaste.
Just a short introduction about Dr. Kader. He's popularly known as the Millet Man of India. He has worked relentlessly for the past 25 years and has been successful in bringing back millet food to the consciousness of human race. Along with millets, he's also working to develop sustainable living models for the planet. He has received his bachelor's degree of science and master's of science and respectively got his PhD in steroid biochemistry from IASC Bangalore. He has then worked as a postdoctorate fellow in Oregon Graduate Center, Oregon, US, and then joined the CFTRI Mysuru as senior scientist in biochemistry and nutrition department. Well, after that, he has also been in US and worked in many universities there as well. He has trained many doctors, farmers, and has therefore been a recipient of many awards. He was awarded the Padma Shri, the fourth highest civilian award by Government of India in 2023. Such a privilege to have you here, sir, on this session, which is titled Sattvik Balance, Harmonizing Mind, Body, and Spirit through Yogic Nutrition. I welcome you to talk on this topic in the next 5 to 7 minutes. We are eager to hear from you, and then we also have a lot of questions for you. Thank
Yeah.
you. Over
Yeah.
to you, sir.
In this present confused world, you are giving me 7 minutes to talk about sattvic balance. It's a quite challenging task, but anyway, I will give my best. Um, Sattvic and balance, they're actually the same thing. Uh, we have three gunas, rajas, tamas, sattvic. And it is the sattvic that balances everything. So sattvic balance is basically the systems of the whole universe are the way they run, the cycles, water cycle, nitrogen cycle, carbon cycle. And then if you go beyond the earth, it's all in a different dimension altogether. But whatever may be the dimensions, the dimensions of the cosmos basically is essentially the transformations of energy forms, basic. And one of these planets, like Earth, has added dimensions of mutation of energy into matter. So there is a small window where you need to understand that there is energy jumping into material, material jumping into energy. So in the macro and micro dimensions, these things happen. So when it happens in macro dimension, you'll see, especially on earth, the panchabhutas, water, earth, air, agni, and akasha. Of course, akasha is where the drama happens everywhere. I mean, the whole universe or multiverse, whatever. Whatever your imagination is, you can go ahead and think of it. So these transformations is what is requiring balance. If the transformations and transmutations do not happen in a balanced way, the cycles get dispersed. So even in the energy transformations, there has to be balance. So when we come to the mundane level that is connected to earth dimension, we have panchabhutas, which are actually doing all the drama. Out of that, when it becomes earthly, the matter, mundane matter, the mud, the soil through which food is made. Who is making food? Again, a life form which has got energy transitions going on, that is plants, which fix the carbon dioxide into glucose. So the matter from the Vayu is becoming a solid. And where does it happen? In the saddle of water. Without water, this doesn't happen. So now you have water, soil, air. And who does the trick of transforming? It is the energy from the sun. So the photosynthesis, as now you got 4 bhutas. So the food, that glucose, which is getting fixed from the air, water, and the sun, is the earthly material that everyone needs to burn and release the energy again. So the chemical energy is transforming into biological energy, life energy. And this, who does it? It's not the energy that is life. There is a life form which does. And that is the small bit coming from the God. So that's what we keep talking. God is there everywhere in every living thing and non-living thing. So there is energy transformations through which this whole thing is happening, and everywhere you need balance. So when in your living cell, the glucose is burned to release energy as ATP, biological energy, adenosine triphosphate. So carbon dioxide is released back, from which glucose is made in the plants on a chlorophyll molecule, which is green, and red hemoglobin, exactly sister molecule of chlorophyll, that is hemoglobin, red blood cells. The hemoglobin is where the glucose is going into the mitochondria and getting burnt to release carbon dioxide. So the cycle is complete. This is the carbon cycle. Carbon dioxide becoming glucose, glucose becoming carbon dioxide. In between, water is the carrier and the formation of the energy. So sun energy, chemical energy, biological energy. In between, the carbon dioxide is doing the rounds. So who is living? The living forms of every small microbes to humans, even the big whales, all depend on this particular wonderful carbon cycle. Nothing else, nothing else. So to perform this, you need many other co-actors in a balanced way. So once you do that, the energy transition creates materials that are not required. When a biochemistry happens, you have small amount of energy as waste leaking out, and that leaked energy is the toxicity. So even if you eat the best food right from the forest. I'm not talking about organic fruit, organic, right from the forest where there are absolutely no chemicals. Even if we eat that particular grain, that particular fruit, your body will produce toxic material out of that leaked energy, which we call in chemical or biochemical terms EMF, electron motive force. And that transmutates into toxic substances. And that substances have to be eliminated. If that doesn't happen, your balance tilts to tamas, rajas, two issues will come up. So if you have more and more toxicity, you become tamas. And sattvik is the balanced. There is no toxicity left in your body. You have the energy you're using, you're living happily, healthy. So the sattvik nature can go to rajas if the accumulated toxicity increases. And then it becomes much more, then you become tamas. Then if it becomes much more, you will die. Simple. So the food that you eat has to be keeping you always in sattvic condition, the balanced condition. Then you are good to go. When it becomes toxicity not being removed, is the condition rajasic, tamasic. So it is the lower levels, then you are going to be in trouble. Not that you will die immediately. You can get angry, you have this problem, you have disease, you have sickness, cancer. All these are all transformations of this toxicity increasing in your body. And if you can remove them systematically and successfully, you will become sattvic again. So this is in essence that is happening in the energy dimension about sattvic, rajasic, and tamasic. So how can you remove the toxicity generated in that dimension of energy is again dependent on a pool of aromatic electrons that are provided in particular grains, for which I am popularly known as millet man, because these are the food grains which have this wonderful capacity to remove the EMF itself before the EMF transmutates into free radical and then dysfunctional organs and then disease. At the root of the energy transformation itself, we can clean the toxicity. So no other grains have this capacity. So the fiber, matured fiber available in the grains and none others, rice, wheat, meat, egg, you name it, all these things do not have any capacity to clean toxic at the root level, including your fruits, vegetables, and many so-called antioxidants that many people use in different forms of medical world do not have the capacity to clean up the energy transitions, and the leaked energy has to be mopped up. And that's how the real sattvic food is to clean up the free radicals. Even before the free radical is born, there is a leakage of energy. As the energy accumulates, free radical is born. So at that root of the toxic material generated, these fibers of the grains, 5 grains, millets, foxtail millet, little millet, kodo millet, barnyard millet, brown top millet. They have enough amount of fiber, 8% to 12.5%. There are many grains having many kinds of fibers, but these are the 5 grains which we have experimentally proven that the toxicity, be it carcinogenic or dialysis, that is kidney disturbing toxicity, brain disturbing toxicity, lung disturbing toxicity. So depending upon the nature of the fiber, we can clean up particular organs in our body. So when you use these wonderful grains, 2 days each, these 5 grains, our whole body gets detoxified on a 24/7 basis. So naturopathy centers, many of them have detox programs like 3 weeks, 2 weeks. give this particular juice, that particular juice, use this oil. All these procedures are eventually targeting 1 or 2 points of the organs in our body. So as a whole, you keep doing regularly for 3 to 4 weeks, all organs get well, and you seem to be all right for a period of 3 months or 6 months. But then again, you accumulate the toxicity because your information to the body is not enough, and there is no management system in your body how to remove toxicity. Because the present day world, all of us, including Ayurveda Pandits, yoga teachers, everyone has transformed themselves into the modern day food, which is absolute Thomasic food. Means it generates so much toxicity that including Ayurveda wellness centers are not able to remove this toxicity properly. So the sattvic condition can be achieved when the transition of this energy happens, and that is the fiber included grains which can do this job. So when you eat these wonderful grains as your staple food, you do not generate the toxicity, taking you to rajasic and tamasic conditions, and then finally leading you to death. So, but problem is that we are all actually labeling. Many Ayurveda Pandits I have seen, oh, this is tamasic, this is rajasic, this is sattvic. No, it's not. Everyone has all the characteristics. It is how balanced, how sattvic your food is, how sattvic your thought processes are. All these things matter to keep your balance. So if you are balanced, means you are eating sattvic food. See, sattvic means not just outside behavior, within yourself. Within yourself, each cell is sattvic or not. See, you may be a good actor to hide things, but in reality, each and every cell goes through this sattvic condition, rajasic condition, tamasic condition, and death. So it is this travel. So if you are now in tamasic condition, can we go to sattvic condition? So this is the struggle that is going on in the life forms in each and every cell. So every cell inherently is inborn to become sattvic. But how far we do this travel depends on your efforts. And that's why famous sloka is there, yukta aharasya, that is, without the apt food, no one can be out of sadness. So you can have yoga, you can do satsang, but then if your food is not right, you are going to be again in trouble. And you can have satsang, you can have good food, and if you do not have the right yoga practices, you still will not eliminate dukkha in your food. So there are basic fundamental aspects clearly told by Krishna: yukta ahara, yukta nidra, yukta chattuvatike, mean what you do. So these three are basic mandatory aspects that have to be fulfilled to be a yogic, which can maintain sattvicness for almost all the time that you spend on this earth. So this lesson of sattvic being the balance, and yoga, yukta ahara, yukta nidra, all this together can achieve this condition. So sattvicness is the thing that the whole every living cell is trying to achieve. And you will find yourself somewhere in this travel, and each one finds his own sattvic nature, and it may take a lot of births to reach that for the particular living unit. I hope I have made some information available to the audience, and you can go ahead with the questions. I think I've taken 6 or 7 minutes. Yeah.
No. So very rightly said, sir, as you're saying, yukta hara viharasya, yukta cheshtasya karmasu, yukta swapnava bhodasya, yogo bhavati dukkha. So people should definitely understand that it's a mix, as you're trying to say. Being sattvic is just not about sattvic food alone. I think you have
Alone.
to bring that manasika guna. That's why it's
Hmm.
sattva is be a manasika guna. Yeah. So in this context, one question which comes to your mind is you also mentioned about using, of course, millets. And we also have cereals. Traditionally, everybody has also grown up on millets, people, especially maybe the earlier generation, those of them who are in their 70s,
No,
80s.
no, no. The whole humanity has been eating millets for lakhs of years.
Very long
We
time.
have anthropological studies, and all this, our food is being spoiled, toxic, poisons. Everything has happened in the last 100 years with this Western thought process
Influence.
taking over, and fertilizers, pesticides, and all this nonsense coming up. So,
So green
this is
revolution
just
has not
green
as
revolution.
a boon.
No, no, it is a bane for the human society.
Yeah.
Green revolution, white revolution, pink revolution. Now they are spinning right now. You need more protein. You need more protein.
Yeah.
And they're already hiding near the screen is another blue revolution. They're going to make carbon copy fishes, carbon copy prawns, carbon copy sharks, and then everyone. No, these are all humbug and toxicity loaded with each and everything. So, in the name of science, they're poisoning the living forms.
Exactly. So when we look at the protein need, like you just mentioned, I think that can be a very crucial question, because most of the time, even when we see patients, when we tell them, a kind of a good combination of food, they say, this is not, rich in protein. I'm going to the gym, I'm doing this. So it becomes
Yeah.
difficult to also
No,
explain.
see, yeah, it is very simple. The living things on this planet, metabolism is carbohydrate metabolism. There is no protein metabolism. You don't burn protein to get energy. See, protein is only a platform, a molecule that makes things happen. It has proteins, it has enzymes. All these are made by amino acid, nitrogen based molecule. So you are not going to burn nitrogen to get energy. It is the muscles, it is the things that make these things happen. And the whole percentage of nitrogen in our body is not more than 6%. So the protein cannot reach beyond 6%, and you don't get energy from burning protein. You need proteins, you need amino acid to make this whole process of releasing energy from glucose to carbon dioxide and ATP. So these are all background workers, the protein molecules, enzyme molecules. You don't need it. So what is being burnt? It is the glucose. It is the carbohydrate metabolism. So protein, if you go to gym, it's a matter of you practice your muscles tied up. But what is happening in the gym culture is they are actually selling their steroids. So it is that makes you look like that and all that. So that's not health. So first of all, you don't need protein. You need only 6% maximum. That is, if you eat 100 grams of food, you should not go beyond 6%. If you do, you will have your kidney and liver going kaput. And that's why you're seeing dialysis patients, creatinine, uric acid, protein leak. All that is because of the food that you're eating. So it's a misconception and scientific myth spread by this business oriented people. So, and sadly, Ayurveda people also to say, oh, you need protein. We have protein in lentils and pulses, so you eat a lot of sprouts. And that's also going to cause the damage. It's not going to leave you. So you need only 6% protein, even if it is whether plant protein or animal protein. Animal protein is 100 times more dangerous. Plant protein is also dangerous for you beyond a certain point. The balance is very, very needed. And of course, we can talk about how to cook the protein differently. All that issues require different session for each one.
So
Yeah.
here,
So
another
the
question.
balance is 6% of maximum is 6%, 3 to 6%. Let us put the range. So
Right.
protein should not be more than that. That means if you eat 100 grams of food, grains, dry food, 6 grams only can be protein. That is the per day. So you cannot go on eating sprouts this much and all that, because each
Carbonates
and
not essential.
every protein molecules that you are talking is amino acid sequences which are present up to 20 grams in each and every lentil that you are talking, whether it is groundnut or moong phal or whatever, tur dal, rajma, chana, and all that. So people are being misled saying you need high protein. Soya bean has got 36%. They are genetically modified to increase the protein content. And then now the whole world is soya sauce, soya this, soya ting, ting, all that. And you're going to kill your kidney and go to dialysis.
No, I
So
think lot of
vegan
awareness.
protein, all these are scientific myths. You don't need that.
And what is your take on vegan? You just took that word, so from there I would
Yeah,
talk.
yeah, vegan is good concept, but then they do not know what they're doing, in the sense that they are eating soya beans, they're eating genetically modified foods, all that. Though the plants food, but they're genetically modified, and so the contents are unnatural. So you should not be touching any, even hybrids, according to me, are not good food because they are not natural. So you need to get back to the desi varieties of things and uh, base your food on that. And that's why vegetables. So vegan means vegetarian. They don't want you to take any animal protein, animal stuff, including animal milk is protein. I do agree with that. That's not an issue. But then vegan, they include the soya bean and all that. So I'm against the soya bean, genetically modified food, even if it is plant. I'm not. In fact, I'm against the wheat. Wheat is the worst thing you can do because the celiac gut microbes are killed by wheat, which is very dangerous because microbes, very good microbes, gut microbes are part of maintaining the balance in our system, including your mental balance. So that's a separate chapter itself, gut microbes, which we have done a lot of work, and you can cure almost all diseases based on gut microbes health. So we have a separate session for how to increase your gut microbes.
No, because anyway, nowadays a lot of science is based on gut microbiome. You look at brain-gut axis and a lot more. And the same thing is
Yeah, that
already spoken. Traditionally, like in Ayurveda, also we talk about Agni. The whole concept has evolved, but we are trying to also reinvent a lot of it now, and people want to
yeah,
understand.
but I do know, I have talked to so many Ayurveda fellows. They are not for fermented foods, but they do not understand what is fermentation. They think anything left over is fermentation after 24 hours and all that. But fermentation in its true sense is to develop the various diversified microbes in your food system. And we have done a lot of work. I have been doing this for the 30 years. All these words, the people are talking only now. We have very well established about this ambali. We call ambali in South Indian language, which is actually 16 hours to 18 hours. It's not 24 hours. Once you cross 24 hours, it becomes tamasic. It becomes daru. Instead of ambali, you will have the alcohol getting formed slowly. So that is what the earlier Ayurveda system said. But then present day people say anything fermented is not good and all that. So I'm not sure about what they have understood because they have not done any experiments on that. And people are simply saying curds is good microbe. Curds is actually very simply put one microbe, lactobacillus, and which is anaerobic, which is very much very early stages when you are a young boy or girl. I mean, 2-3 years old, your mother's milk become, because of some places not having enough oxygen, it becomes lactobacillus, and you get the milk has to be digested through curds only. After it becomes lactic acid, then it's a different metabolism. So one microbe doesn't solve our problem. So many people think taking buttermilk is good. Buttermilk is just one microbe. So if you ferment the porridge of different grains, then you are going to make your gut diversified gut microbe, and then you have the magic happening. So the sattvic condition. And so how do you make this ambali? You soak the grain for 8 hours, boil it for 15-20 minutes, tie it up in a mud pot with a cotton cloth, because oxygen has to go in. Only mud pot has this facility, nothing else. Unless you create a big fermenters wherein you have oxygen, you have this, you have that, all that. Doing fermentation in a large scale, aerobic fermentation is a huge study, which I have done a lot of this work. So to simplify and make common man achieve this goal is the mud pot. And in north, some places they use the bamboo bottle also you can use to make. And that's why they call it in north basi. They call basi. And in our conditions, in our country, the fermentation starts and 8 to 10 hours, everything happens. You have all the microbes developed and all. If you keep it for more time, another 8 more hours, which is 24 hours from the soaking point, it will be again entering into alcohol production. That's how beer is made, from all the grains. And you choose the right microbes, it increases. So this is the microbial process. And without microbes, there is no life on this planet, because it is the microbes that are bridging the gap between plant world and microbial animal world. So it is the gut microbes that do this transition. So it's so important for everyone to understand that microbes are what is making life on this planet possible, including the rains, and everything depends on microbes, hygroscopic bacteria. That's a huge topic by itself, different cycles and all. So sattvic food is not possible without ambali.
Okay.
You want any balance in your system, gut microbes have to be taken care of.
On a daily basis, you recommend the use of ambali or ganji?
At least once, yeah, you drink that and then have your food.
Okay. And what about use of ambali in the morning? Like people, if you want to take something for breakfast, instead of that, you can take a ragi ganji or a ragi ambali. They make a difference.
It's wrong. It's wrong. There is nothing like that. It's not good also. You take ambali cannot be your food. It is a drink wherein you make your gut microbes strengthened. Okay, that's not your food.
Right.
That's not your food.
Find the food to be taken.
Yeah.
So, sir, here when we look at, of course, rice, wheat, or millets, do you think there should be, usage of them across the day, or you recommend that all 3 meals can have millets?
Only millets. Rice and wheat is not human beings' food.
Okay.
There is no fiber in it, so it cannot sustain microbes. It cannot sustain the slow release of glucose. There are so many things that rice and wheat, in my definition, are simply a big no-no.
Okay. Yes.
That's period. Remove them, because they don't have any fiber. And gluten in the wheat is anti-celiac. So it is absolute poison for you. That's how we are finding so many diseases. If you eliminate rice and wheat and milk, 90% of hospitals can be closed down.
Exactly. Yeah, I think there's a lot of lifestyle change, especially diet-related things which people need to understand. So you also mentioned about hybrid.
Not diet. It is food.
Food related.
Diet is a plan. It's a plan for particular condition. I'm talking about wholesale. Food itself has to be changed.
Yeah. A lot of education needed, and people are still in the process of the same. So here, we have a lot of these superfoods, and one common thing which we see now is quinoa. Like, it is again not an Indian food. So what do you have to say about
No. Quinoa is not food at all. Basically, it is a seed of a vegetable, green vegetable. So it can never be food. It's all hangama, trend created by these markets. Absolute zero value. It has nothing to do with food.
So basically,
It's like Rajgira seeds,
Amaranth, yes, Rajgira seeds, yes.
Amaranthus, Chenopodium quinoa. Absolutely nonsense.
Okay, sir. I mean, I just wanted to get that answer from you and get your opinion. That's why I posted that question. So, and also nowadays, of course, there are lifestyle disorders are increasing, and we want, people to definitely understand one, two, three main points, which you think as we are slowly coming to the closure of the session.
Most important is Surya Namaskara. Surya Namaskara is the ultimate balancing act for the human body. There are nothing that can substitute. See, in food, instead of foxtail, I can find another grain. Instead of that, I can find another food material. So that's no problem. But as far as Surya Namaskara, the 12 frequencies in the stages of sunrise time, Prabhodaya, Ushodaya, Arunodaya, Suryodaya. There are 12 names in the Surya Namaskara. Saumitri, Hiranyagarbhaya, Khagaya, Ravi, Bhanu, Aditya, Arka, Bhaskara. So these are the frequencies that control, rather that switch on and switch off of your endocrine system, pituitary, thymus, thyroid, adrenal, circadian cycle. And like this, your sperm count, your ovary, everything is switched on, and your pancreas, including your pancreas. So there is, and vitamin D under your skin production. All these basic requirements of biochemical processes are dependent on these 12 frequencies of the God, Sun God. So mandatory, according to me, is Surya Namaskara at least 4 days or 5 days a week for everyone on this planet. And unluckily, many of the countries do not have this provision. Even if the sun rises, their timings are so screwed up, and we have designed our life not based on the sunrise, but based on the stupid 24-hour hour clocks. This is not the clock that you should follow. You should follow the sun god and
natural
then moon.
clock.
Yeah, basically, celestial clock, which our ancestors did with such a promptness and understanding. And it's high time we get back to our life, and lifestyle depends on that. So everyone, so as I keep telling our patients, even if you get up at, go home at sleep at 3 a.m., you keep alarm, get up before sunrise, spend that 1 hour, and then go back to sleep if you want.
Okay.
It is such an important event for everyone. And if you miss this Adbhutava, the sunrise, for more than 10 days, even if you do everything right, you will still fall sick. You will still fall sick. So this is, lot of experiments have been done. Your mental balance, happiness, so many, I can go on reeling out the chemicals that are based on serotonin, all this array of biochemical process, including your nerve signals connecting each other, the electron pumping in your brain systems, everything depends on that. So the Surya Namaskara is fundamental, and your health is not complete without that. So this is the most important point, which does not depend on food, and your habits and all that keep aside. So this is base platform on which your life depends on. Of course, our systems, everything is based on, including Sri Rama is Raghuvamsha. He is from sun, God. Without sun, earth doesn't have anything. So life form on earth is absolute zero without sun. Not only as a macro, including micro, that each and every cell making vitamin D3 depends on the sunlight. So from micro to macro, sun, and that's how we gave importance to Surya Namaskar. And let's get back, and especially that orange color, Kashaya, that is the actually most balancing frequency for everyone. So 7 minutes in the morning, if you can catch that, your rods and cones. I am explaining in physical dimension. And who does the trick with the energy dimension is the sun. And of course, vitamin E. And then microbes, there is one particular chemical called vitamin B12, which is very complex as far as the biochemistry is concerned. No one can make, neither animals nor humans, only microbes can make. And that's why gut microbes are so important.
And we rampantly see vitamin B12 getting, reduced in individuals. We see depletion, a lot of them popping supplements. Especially vitamin D3 and vitamin B12 deficiency have increased exorbitantly, as you are also aware. So
the solution is simple. Ambali, Surya Namaskar.
Surya Namaskar. Good and easy combination, sir. People can really follow.
1 rupee per day. Ambali, 1 rupee. That's all it costs. But nowadays, this so-called prebiotic, probiotic industry, small capsule with a plastic wrapper with 2 or 3 bacteria, they're selling 8,000, 10,000. See, this is the problem with the modern allopathy system. They want to everything make economic, business, commercial. See, it is so simple. Ambali is a concept where you have to increase gut microbes. So simple, take any grain which has higher fiber content, because it is the fiber that inhabits and makes things happen. So without fiber, you cannot get the diversified microbes. If you have sugar content more in your blood, pathogenic bacteria increase. So fiber content more in your blood, you have symbiotic bacteria increase. Very simple. So 1 rupee per day is good enough.
And your closing remarks on Surya Namaskara and Ambali, I think will be a very simple takeaway for this very short session with you. And I think there's a lot of learning, and you're the right combination of tradition and science, because you come with the biochemistry background, and there's a lot of understanding behind it. And people have to understand there's a lot of science when we also talk. Even whether it is, the traditional food we talk about, Ayurveda, yoga, all of them have got certain...
This is the problem. We don't understand the micro dimensions of these energy transitions. And people have belief systems being imposed. Belief systems are getting imposed in the form of science by the allopathic world, because of commerce. And here, in the form of belief systems, we are saying this is this, this is that. And so the experimentation and the evidences are lacking this way and this side. So we need to bridge the gap. We need to make the knowledge spread, not the materials. Materials can be produced everywhere by itself. But if the knowledge is misled, so knowledge has to be shared, not commercialized.
True, sir. Totally agree. So thank you very much for being there, and we look forward for more sessions with you. It was more an educative and an awareness-driven session to the audience, that was what our intent was when we organized this session with you. Thank you very much again, and thank you so much for spending some 30-40 minutes with us, and really thankful and privileged. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. My pleasure. Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you all. All the audience, pranams.